Chapter 6. Paris Realization. Paris was alive with light. The Seine shimmered under bridges, cafes spilled laughter into the streets, and the Eiffel Tower glowed like a beacon against the night sky. Jihoon and Minjae arrived with a crew, their footsteps echoing on cobblestones, their banter softer now, more intimate, more knowing. Paris, Jihoon murmured, adjusting his scarf. The city of love. Minjae smirked. Fitting, don't you think? Jihoon shot him a look, amused but curious. Why fitting? Minjae's eyes sparkled. Because people already think we're in love. Jihoon chuckled, but the words lingered. Their first stop was Montmartre, the artist's quarter. Street performers juggled, musicians strummed guitars, and painters lined the sidewalks. The challenge was to have caricatures drawn of each other. Jihoon sat for his portrait, his posture regal. The artist captured his sharp jawline, his confident smirk, the aura of someone used to being admired. When Minjae's turn came, Jihoon leaned against a lamppost, watching. The artist exaggerated Minjae's smile, his bright eyes, his youthful energy. When they exchanged drawings, Jihoon's was surprisingly flattering, while Minjae's sketch of Jihoon was chaotic, a villain with arched brows and a dramatic cape. Jihoon laughed until his stomach hurt. You made me look like a supervillain. Minjae grinned. Maybe you're one. A charming villain. Jihoon shook his head, still laughing. You're impossible. Later, they shared crepes by the Seine. Jihoon ordered his with Nutella, Minjae with strawberries. Cameras caught them feeding each other bites, their laughter echoing against the water. Fans would replay the moment endlessly, dissecting every glance, every smile. But when the cameras turned off, the mood shifted. They walked along the riverbank, the city quiet around them. Jihoon's voice was low. You know, I used to think I had everything figured out. My career, my image, my future. But then you showed up. Minjae looked at him, steady. And now? Jihoon hesitated, then exhaled. Now I'm not so sure. You make me rethink things. The next day, they visited the Louvre Museum. Jihoon admired the Mona Lisa with practiced detachment, while Minjae lingered over lesser-known works, asking questions, absorbing details. You don't just look, Jihoon observed. You study. Minjae smiled. Art deserves more than a glance. It's someone's heart on canvas. Jihoon tilted his head, intrigued. You see things differently. Minjae's gaze flicked to him. Maybe that's why we work. You see the world as a stage. I see it as a story. Together, it's both. Jihoon's chest tightened. He hadn't expected wisdom from a rookie. But Minjae wasn't just a rookie. He was something more. That night, the crew set up at the Eiffel Tower. The challenge was to film a closing monologue about their journey so far. Jihoon spoke first, his words polished, heartfelt. He talked about travel, about learning, about connection. Minjae followed, his voice steady, his smile warm. But when the cameras turned off, they lingered at the base of the tower, the city glowing around them. Jihoon turned to Minjae. You're not just a rookie. You're something more. Minjae's gaze didn't waver. Say it. Jihoon's chest tightened. I think I'm falling for you. The silence stretched, heavy with anticipation. Then Minjae stepped closer, his voice soft but firm. Good. Because I've already fallen. Jihoon's breath caught. And then, under the Eiffel Tower's golden lights, he leaned in. Their lips met, soft at first, then deeper, stronger. It wasn't tentative. It wasn't hesitant. It was confident, powerful, inevitable. The city of love had witnessed countless kisses, but this one was theirs. Two men, both strong, both unafraid, finally embracing what had been building. Chapter 7. Homecoming Finale. Seoul's skyline glittered as the plane descended, the city alive with anticipation. By now, the show had aired several episodes, and Jihoon and Minjae's chemistry was undeniable. Fans weren't just watching a travel variety show, they were watching a story unfold. At the airport, the crowd was larger than ever. Fans held banners, shouted their names, and waved phones high to capture every moment. Jihoon adjusted his sunglasses, but this time, he didn't walk alone. Minjae was beside him, confident, steady, their shoulders brushing as they moved through the crowd. "Feels different, doesn't it?" Minjae murmured. Jihoon smirked.
Yeah.
"Feels like we're not just actors anymore." The final episode was filmed in Seoul, a homecoming montage. They revisited familiar places, street food stalls, Han River parks, bustling markets. The producers asked them to reflect on their journey. Jihoon spoke first, his voice calm but heartfelt. "I thought this show would be about travel, about destinations. But it became about something else. About connection. About finding someone who challenges me, supports me, and makes me better." Minjae followed, his gaze steady. "I came here as a rookie, unsure of how I'd fit in. But I found more than just experience. I found a partner. Someone who walks beside me, not ahead or behind." The crew exchanged glances. They knew this wasn't scripted. It was real. When the cameras turned off, Jihoon and Minjae stood by the Han River, the city lights reflecting on the water. "You know the rumors won't stop," Jihoon said quietly. Minji's voice was firm. "Then let them talk. We know the truth. And if we're strong enough, the world will see it too." Jihoon looked at him, admiration flooding his chest. "You really don't fear anything, do you?" Minjae smiled. "Not when I have you beside me." Jihoon's lips curved into a grin. "Dangerous rookie." Minjae chuckled. "Dangerous veteran." And then, without hesitation, Jihoon reached for his hand. Minjae clasped it tightly, their fingers intertwining. Cameras caught the moment, unplanned, unfiltered. Fans would replay it endlessly, the image of two men standing together, confident and unafraid. The finale aired weeks later. Social media exploded. Fans didn't just ship them, they celebrated them. Headlines declared, "Jihoon and Minjae, the industry's new power couple." Some critics questioned their closeness, but the overwhelming response was positive. Fan art flooded timelines, interviews replayed their banter, and hashtags trended daily. Jihoon scrolled through the reactions one evening, his chest tight with something unfamiliar. Not fear, not doubt.
Pride.
Beside him, Minjae leaned over, reading aloud from a fan post. "They're not just actors. They're inspiration." Jihoon smiled. "Looks like we've started something bigger than us." Minji's hand brushed his. "Then let's keep building it." At the press conference for the show's finale, reporters crowded the room. Questions flew about their travels, their experiences, their bond. Jihoon answered with practiced charm, but when one reporter asked directly, "Are you two more than colleagues?" the room fell silent. Jihoon glanced at Minjae. Minji's gaze was steady, unwavering. Jihoon smiled faintly. "We are colleagues. We are friends. And yes, we are partners." Gasps rippled through the room. Cameras flashed. Minji's lips curved into a confident smile. "Partners," he echoed. "In every sense." The press conference erupted, but Jihoon and Minjae stood tall, side by side. That night, as they walked out into the Seoul evening, Jihoon exhaled. "Well, that's it. No going back now." Minji's voice was calm, certain. "Good. I don't want to go back." Jihoon looked at him, warmth flooding his chest. "Neither do I." And as the city lights shimmered around them, Jihoon realized something. This wasn't just a show. It wasn't just a journey. It was the beginning of something real. Together, they weren't just actors. They were force. A power couple. Hope you enjoyed the story from BL Stories Land.